Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of the PH Lab. My name is Todd Kirk, and today we're going to host a session about how you can be more effective with your team at managing tasks. Now, with that, I want you to take a second for some introspection. How do you manage your own personal tasks each and every week? If you're anything like me, in the past, what I would do is I'd have a legal pad where I wrote down every single task I needed to do for the day, and that became kind of overwhelming and easy to get lost. Then I tried Post-it notes. I'd stick them all over my machine. Over the years, I learned about Outlook tasks. Maybe I used the reminder list on my phone. And we all have different ways that we try to work on our tasks. And it can be really challenging to stay on top of that. But greater still, one of the things that really drives me crazy, in the workplace especially, is how my team manages tasks. How often have you gone into a meeting and you've sat down with all of your colleagues, you've talked about all of these great plans, and you even make a whole bunch of assignments and maybe a calendar list, or somebody sends an email out afterwards, and then you never get it done. In fact, you probably forgot who was ever assigned to do what and when they were assigned to do it. Today we're going to show you one of the solutions that Microsoft has that can solve that problem for you and your team and help you to get so much more done faster and to be happier and more productive. So let me show you what it is. It's called Microsoft Planner, and it's part of Office 365. So all you have to do to get there is to go out to Office 365. Usually if you go to portal.office.com, you'll see that there's all of these different apps that are available. And if you have Planner available to you, it'll either show up here in this list, or if you click Explore All Apps. Now, you'll also see when I click into Planner that it goes to tasks.office.com. This is another easy and simple way that you can access this really, really fantastic app. Let me show you how it works. Basically, every single group or team that you're a part of can get its own plan. And the best part, if you're already using Office 365, if you've used any of the other applications that are available to you, like Microsoft Teams, then you likely already have plans set up for you. Last week, Scott Dowland talked about Teams and what that can do for you. And the neat part about this, if you look here in Ned Price's account, who I'm logged in as, and I go to All Plans, you'll see that he has a bunch of different plans that already appear for him inside of his own account. This is pretty handy, and you'll also see that a lot of those map over to the Microsoft team. That's because every single team automatically gets a plan inside of Planner. And more importantly, if you create a new plan, that plan can also be associated to a Microsoft team. So you can go in both directions there. But to keep it simple, we're going to try to work from existing plans that were already created for your organization. Now, one key part about this whole process is that it's very easy to start getting lots and lots of plans, and it's difficult to maybe keep track of where the tasks are that matter, right? No, not with Microsoft Planner. It's actually very, very easy and can save you a ton of time. Let me show you what this looks like. So let's say that this plan right here, I've got a couple of team members and we're part of the advertising department. I can click this little star button here, and it'll add any tasks and plans to my favorites. So while I may have lots of different groups or departments or teams that I'm a part of, and some of those may not have key action items that my team members need to take, I can go through the process of starring and favoriting the ones that matter the most to me. So let's say that I'm part of a new land acquisition proposal that we're trying to put together for a massive property that my company is planning on buying. Well, again, I can add this to my favorites, and I'm going to show you a couple of things because this one's a good one to start with since there are no tasks in it to start with. The first thing that I want you to be aware of with this team planner is that every single person inside of the plan is going to have visibility and can co-author the plans together. That's a really neat part about this. This is not your typical list of items that you'd be tracking on a Post-it note. This is a place where everybody in the team has full visibility on what's going on. And all of the members will then appear in the member list. So anybody who's a member of the team, and you can see the list of my team members here that's part of this proposal, they will all have visibility here inside the planner. The second thing that I want to point out to you about the way that this works is that it will give you different buckets to categorize the information that you want to track for your team. So for example, this first one that it created is just called to do, but maybe what we're doing, because this is a very specific project, is a little bit different than that. I don't want my first bucket to be to do. I want to categorize it based off of this proposal. So maybe the first thing that we're doing is research, right? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to call this my research bucket. And then what else can I do? I can add an additional bucket. So maybe this one is development. Right? So we're trying to think through what development we want to do on the property. Maybe this is, acquisitions, right? So I can go through and start adding these additional buckets, and then they'll all appear in a list for me. So this is completely customizable. More importantly, I can also grab these and drag them around with a simple click to move them into different sections. So if the development phase is first in my process, maybe I want that to appear as my first bucket. Isn't that awesome how simple it is for you and your team members to determine what your business process is and then map the plan to that specific business process? Now, let's take it to the next level. So what's the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to start adding tasks. So if I click this plus button here, let's say the first thing I wanna do is I wanna check, I don't know, rainfall. That sounds good, right? We want to understand the rainfall in the area because maybe it's a manufacturing facility and we want to see if we can be more green and eco-friendly. So let's go ahead and create this new rainfall task that we're going to be able to track. So just simply typing in the name of the task and pressing enter adds it immediately to my research bucket. Well, can I move that task from bucket to bucket? Just as easily, I can drag it from place to place. Look how fast and responsive that is. So simple, so clean and easy. But here's where this gets more exciting. You'll also see when you add tasks into a bucket, you have some additional options. At a high level, I can set a due date for that task, or I can make an assignment of that task. And if I click into this new one that I just made for rainfall, I can also do some other things. Let's set a progress date. We'll say that we're already working on this project, and let's say that it's gonna be due here in a few weeks. Let's say that there's a core label that I wanna stay on top of. So this has to do with my research bucket, research the property. So the neat part about this is as I go further and further into this whole process, I can do some really cool things. Let's set this to be due. Let's go ahead and add some checklist items. How neat is this, guys? All of a sudden I've got this big task. So I need to review the property. So I'm gonna go out on site. I need to call the experts. Right? I can add individual checklist items, and more importantly, I can make an assignment, and all I have to do is click, and let's say that Alan is going to be in charge of this. I can even assign multiple people, so maybe Allie is going to help him, and now Allie and Alan have both been assigned to do research on rainfall in the area. So now the other neat part about this is as I go, I can also add attachments, and watch what happens if I click add attachments. Not only can I grab a file, I can grab a link, or I can go straight to SharePoint. So let's click on go to SharePoint, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna open up a folder for any of the assets that are associated with the Microsoft team. Now notice he doesn't have any here, but it's that simple. If I needed to, I could go out and then open a file from my desktop, and I could save this PDF rough draft if I needed to, and I can even make comments. So now my team members can talk through this whole process together. Microsoft Planner is probably one of the coolest, simplest things out there that can help you get so much more done faster. One last tip I want to show you. How easy is it to be able to take the same person and add them, just drag and drop them from your members list? Or if I wanted to look at this in a different way, what if I wanted to see this in a chart view that showed me all of the outstanding tasks and who was assigned to do those tasks? What if I wanted to see a schedule for when that research was due? I can see all of that right from within Microsoft Planner. It's gonna be a huge time saver for you, and I hope that this is giving you just a little bit of a taste of what's possible with this fantastic resource and how it can help your team save time and get things done faster. So that's about all the time that we have for today. Thanks so much everybody for coming. Next week, we're going to be talking about Microsoft's OneNote application. It's one of the best kept secrets to helping you and your team have a centralized place of information for all of your meeting notes, all of the things that you're trying to research and stay on top of. It is a really, really great resource, and we can't wait to teach you more about it. So thanks everybody, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.